Do you ever wonder if your Doberman might just be a little too needy?
Gee. Listen, a little privacy would be nice. So I have my foot. And he's still.
Well, he could be just a normal Doberman, or maybe he is overly clingy and he's really suffering. Or worse than that, maybe he's suffering from separation anxiety when you're not home and you don't even know it. Here's how you can tell the difference between all these situations and what you should do about it.
I would like to go to the restroom in peace. Get your hands out. The days of going to the restroom in peace, at least when I'm using this bathroom, are over.
So we all know that Dobermans are nicknamed Velcro dogs for a reason. They just love sticking by your side like glue. And honestly, usually I think this is a great feature of the breed. But when does this great quality of companionship transition into unhealthy clinginess? Here are a few examples of specific actions you might see from a Doberman who's overly needy or overly clingy to the point where it's kind of reached an unhealthy level. First, frantically trying to get in the bathroom when you walk in. Now, most Dobermans want to be in the bathroom when their owners are, but if your Doberman's crying, scratching at the door and causing damage, chewing at the door, barking and howling, that's a telltale sign that they've kind of reached the unhealthy level of clinginess and your dog is suffering and you need to do something about it. Forcefully chewing their bones in your lap. Again, most Dobermans will chew their bones in your lap, but most won't be forceful about it and completely unable to enjoy their bones or their toys somewhere else other than your lap. Refusing to eat meals unless you're sitting right next to them. Now, if your dog won't eat unless you're sitting there petting them, that's a problem. Constant crying, yelping or barking, even when they're sitting right next to you, just because you're not petting them and not giving them attention. That is a great example of a dog that has reached that unhealthy level of clinginess. Inability to be potty trained simply because they don't want to leave your side. Maybe they're defecating or urinating in the house, but if you're having problems potty training them and it seems like it's simply because they don't want to be away from you, then that could be an absolute sign that they're suffering from some over neediness and clinginess issues. Acting out in other negative ways just to get your attention, being destructive, stealing your clothes, that kind of thing, just so you'll interact with them, that could be a sign that your dog is suffering. All these things can be indicators that there's something going on with your dog, some increased anxiety, and some suffering going on your dog's part, and you need to take action. The first thing I gotta mention is it could be your fault. I hate to say it, but if you're not interacting with your dog, giving them the exercise they need, the mental stimulation that Dobermans demand, then it absolutely could be your fault. So take a good hard look at your routine throughout the day and make sure that what you're doing is what's best for your dog. Now, assuming that you are giving your dog all the attention and love that they desire and that the Doberman breed needs, then it really may not be your fault at all. It could be just something going on with your dog and you need to take action to give your dog some peace of mind. So here's some things that you can do to help with your Doberman's neediness and clinginess. Number one, enroll your dog in obedience classes. Now, I know this can be time consuming, but honestly, it's so good for your dog. It'll help mentally stimulate their brain, which is amazing for Dobermans, and it will help them to socialize a little bit more with other dogs and learn a little obedience. Most anxiety issues are at least partially to blame because of obedience problems. Number two, keep your dog physically and mentally fit. Now, Dobermans need a lot of exercise, 1 to 2 hours a day. If your dog's not getting that kind of exercise, that might be an issue. And even if your dog is getting that level of exercise, still try to bump it up a little bit and just see what happens. Every dog's a little bit different and they have their own exercise requirements. Also keep their mind stimulated with some puzzle toys, maybe play some hide and seek games with them, some obedience stuff. You can even enroll them in agility classes. That's a great way to just handle the exercise issue and the mind stimulation issue all at once. Number three, take charge as the owner. You have to be seen as the alpha in the house if you want to set some healthy boundaries for your dog. There's different ways you can do this. First of all, make sure that you just portray that you're in charge. Do the little things. Make sure your dog doesn't walk through a door in front of you. Make your dog stop and let you go through the door first. Make sure you're the one to feed the dog. Do these things and it'll help set healthy boundaries. Also, never give harsh punishments to your dog. Never yell and scream. These are signs of someone that's kind of out of control or losing control. You need to just be a firm, consistent direction giver to your dog, and then you'll naturally be seen as the alpha in the house. Number 4, teach your dog some commands that'll help you set some healthy boundaries. I taught my dog the space command and the off command. Space meant he had to back up a few steps because he's getting too close. And off just meant he had to get off of the couch or the bed or whatever he was on. Teach your dog these things, that way you can provide some guidance to your dog and reward him when he actually listens. And as long as you're seen as the alpha in the house, giving these commands and getting an acceptable action on his part should be no problem. Number 5, distract your dog when they're being overly needy. Now, this is a great one because if you get just a toy, maybe a Kong toy or something else where you can put a treat inside and they have to work at it. If they're being too needy, too in your face, give them the toy. It'll encourage them to go off the corner of the room. That's a natural instinct for them when they have something with food in it, and chew on it. It'll help show them and teach them that being away from you from a short time is actually a good thing. And heck, they get a treat in the meantime. The best overall advice I can tell you is just to make sure that the exercise and the mental stimulation portion of this is squared away. And if it is, then just focus on establishing boundaries. Look, if you tell your dog to get off the couch because they're starting to climb up, and the dog gets off and goes around a different direction, for example, and then comes up, and you think, oh, that's so cute, he really wants to come up, I guess I'll let him. You just did yourself and your dog a horrible disservice, because you just taught your Doberman that if they're persistent, even when you set boundaries, that you'll cave and they'll get the end result that they want. Establish boundaries and stick to them. If you give an intelligent dog like a Doberman an inch, trust me, they'll take a mile. The last thing I want to touch on is separation anxiety, guys, because you may not know this is going on. The differences between an overly clingy and needy Doberman, like I just described in this video, and one suffering from separation anxiety is really separation anxiety will occur mostly when you're either getting ready to leave the house or you have left the house. Separation anxiety can be seen as barking, howling, destructive behavior, all these things mainly focused on when you're gone from the house, not when you're home. If it's happening when you're home, it's something else, probably some clingy issue and neediness issue. If you think your Doberman might be suffering from separation anxiety when you're away, take a look at this video right up here, should be popping up on your screen. It's all about how to spot it and what to do about it. If you love the Doberman breed like I do and you want to keep seeing these crash course videos to make your life easier with your Doberman, hit that subscribe button down below and then hit that little bell icon that comes up. That way you'll make sure you don't miss a single video. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you leave a comment down below and let us know what extreme and crazy lengths your dog has gone to stick close by your side. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button and I'll see you next time.